It's official, Meta's interest targeting is dead, and here's what you can do about it. My name is Luke Smith. This is Ad Spend Secrets. Welcome to the podcast. In this episode, we're going to deep dive into recent announcements that, really there's been writing on the wall, but Meta reps have come out, particularly in Australia, and given a bit of a time frame. They're talking June or July, where interest targeting is going to be completely phased out. Now, in our Meta accounts, if you're running ads for your business or you've got an agency running ads for your business, the recommendation has always been the last couple of years to start going broad, not using lookalikes, not using interest targeting, using creative to help find the right person at the right time to buy your product. And this is 100% the way forward. And the recent updates from Meta and the recent updates in the platform are really, really making this clearer than it has ever been before, that there is no targeting. So the focus in all Meta accounts and all ecom businesses should be on creative. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How can you get the same results or even better results than you're seeing now in Meta without interest and without lookalikes? So what we're seeing in most accounts is lookalikes and interests. We haven't really used them in our agency in a while. They've always sort of underperformed compared to broad targeting over recent months and years. And we're also using a lot of Advantage Plus. So when these get stripped away, what are the alternatives? Well, it's going to be countrywide, so US wide or Australia wide, and that's pretty much it. You said your age range as well. There may be the ability to add a suggestion to the algorithm, similar to Google's Performance Max with signals, for example. So you're giving the algorithm a bit of a hint, a bit of a tip, but we're not actively choosing interest to target. So then the question becomes, how does Meta know who is going to buy my product? So an example from one of our clients we're running Meta ads for, we've got one ASC campaign running for them. We've gradually been walking up the budget as the CPA has been in a really, really healthy place for their business. We've done the numbers. They're making, X dollars of profit per order. I think it's about $8, $9 of profit per order. We know that they're in the green. We can keep walking up budget, and we're monitoring conversion rate, cost per purchase, return on ad spend, making sure those numbers stay true. If they do, we keep walking the budget up. The campaign structure that we're using in this example is just an ASC started with 4 to 6 creatives and had different creatives in there. So what are different creatives? With an ASC or broad targeting, you really need to take big swings and you want creative variation. So some people will respond to an image on Facebook, others will respond to a video. So it's important that you have both of those in play. All of these things, the creative variation is going to help you lower delivery costs on Facebook, because Facebook's going to be able to reach more people rather than just the people, for example, that are interested in image ads or just the people who are interested in video. So when you start to have these variations, it actually helps you reduce costs through delivery, which in turn can help improve your cost per purchase or lower your cost per purchase. So what we typically do is we try and have images, we try and have videos, we try and have carousels. We also have a catalog style creative where it pulls in the product directly from your feed with the price and the name of the product dynamically. That's always sort of a high click-through rate kind of creative. And in terms of the actual content of each ad, taking big swings there too, right? So you might have one kind of store level creative where it might talk about your products in general. So that's a very high level messaging about the products you may have on hand. So whether it's, shorts, shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, for example, and who it may be for with a first order discount buy now. And then you might have another ad that's specific to one product. So we've got, in this same client example, they've got, if we look at their Shopify store and see what products are moving, they've got this pair of shorts, kids shorts. It's a kids brand. They're called the Mover shorts. And so what we did was we created an ad specifically for those shorts where it actually is a video that cycles through the different colors of those shorts. So it's a bit of a flat lay with the color visually shown in the video. And then in the background is actually lifestyle imagery as well of the shorts being worn by kids. So covering a bit off in the creative there. And the reception on that ad has been really, really incredible. So a lot of the spend naturally in that ASC is shifted towards that creative. And that ad is getting attention for that product and we're seeing that product move more heavily in Shopify. So it's a bit of a one-to-one connection there. It's not driving people to the site and having them browse and buy other things. The ad is so specific to that product that Facebook's showing it to people that have browsing and behavioral, events that Facebook knows that they've been browsing and looking for kids shorts, potentially kids boy shorts. Like, it can get very specific. The amount of data that Facebook has on me, you, everyone out there is astounding. So they've got so many touch points. They know who's looking for shirts. They know who's looking for shorts. They know who's looking for sweatshirts. And they know who's just browsing and who's got buying intent. So if you can create specific product, look at your top selling products, create specific creative for those products, get that into an ASC, see how it responds compared to your existing creative, if what you're doing currently is more higher level, sort of store level, brand level messaging. So throwing those kind of creative variations into the mix is really helpful. One thing to note, and one thing that we've actually noticed with this specific approach, is that when that creative really kicks off, the CPA has even dropped lower. It's got so much attention and the conversion rate's really high on it. But the AOV of the store has actually dropped, because what's happening is the shorts are a lower price point than what people were buying if they went to the homepage, had a bit of a browse, and then potentially bought something else. So there's a trade-off there between your CPA, your cost per purchase, and your AOV. So then with Facebook's adjustments, with the way that we're advertising, the question then becomes, okay, well, how do I structure my campaigns? Should I be doing anything differently? What if I'm just selling these shorts that are bringing the AOV down? Well, another update with Meta is that the Advantage shopping campaign, I believe they're now calling it the Advantage Plus sales campaign, you can now have multiple ad sets within the campaign level. Previously, you could only have the one campaign, and then it would essentially go straight to the ad level, and it would have the ads rotating within that. Whereas now you can actually duplicate the middle level, the ad set level, and you can adjust the settings there, you can adjust the budget there. And what that might allow you to do is say, okay, well, let's just run one ad set for all of these short products with these kinds of creatives and create different variations promoting the shorts. And you can have another ad set to promote a different product category. And the way in which I'd think about whether or not you're breaking out these products is what we just discussed was, are there sort of higher and lower AOVs depending on what people are buying? Is there different margins per product? So that's the way in which you'd think about segmenting it out. But for most brands, and what we've done initially as well, is just lump them all together, take big swings with creative, images, videos, carousels, let Facebook do its Advantage Plus creative, so turning catalog ads into collection formats versus image formats versus carousels naturally and natively. It will do that automatically. So we're really leaning into a lot of these creative enhancements at the ad level, as long as they respect the client's brand guidelines, obviously. And all of this is helping us lower delivery costs, which can help improve performance. Big swings. That's the consensus here. So don't be afraid to try something new with these Advantage Plus shopping campaigns. We no longer have the need. We no longer have the need to actually, spend so much time at that middle level in the interest section. So the beauty is we can shift our attention from audience and over to creative, and really think about, okay, if we look at our Shopify store and we look at what products are moving, and we look at our audience and what we know and understand about our audience, what can we include in our ads to get their attention and to target this ideal avatar? So using the creative to get in front of these people. What are we saying in that first line of copy? And what does the image itself have in it? And Facebook can read your creative, it can read your images, it can understand the language in your copy and match that to people's behavior online, and really become that matchmaker between person and ad. And so if you've got your image that's specifically talking about, boys shorts for summer, for example, and the range that's just dropped, and your copy is talking about how they're perfect for spring moving into summer, and kids active wear is new, and we've got this new model, these new colors, and there's a discount, for example. Facebook's going to find somebody online who's looking for kids boys shorts, and somebody in the US, for example, that's in spring and moving into summer, and looking for that new wardrobe for their kids. So it really is as simple as that. It's actually more enjoyable this way, if I'm honest, rather than spending so much time trying to dig through Facebook's interest targeting and figure out what lookalikes. It actually is thinking more along the lines of people and behaviors and product, and thinking, how can I craft messaging and creative around this product or this group of products so that my audience will respond to it. And if you think about it from that frame, you're going to get much lower delivery costs. You're going to get higher click-through rates on Facebook. You really are putting the audience first, more so than ever before, without using audiences, just using the creative itself. If you've got any questions or you need any help with this for your e-commerce business, just reach out at simplyconverting.com.